Hello everybody, my name is Bragster and welcome back to my journey into journalism, where we are going over Unit 6. It's taken a while for me to complete Unit 6, but we got there. The reason why it's taken a while is simply because there are my first ever dictations. My first ones, which were a pain, but I've actually got some tips this time. I'll try and move the camera angle so it's a little bit better. I don't think I did anything there, to be honest. We'll go with it. But yeah, this one is about word groupings. As you can see, it's about word groupings, to which it'll be like we shall, I shall, I will have, stuff like that. So the common words you will get together, like I have to, stuff like that. So words you commonly hear together are then mashed into one symbol basically, and it gets quite complicated, as you can see on both sides. So like able to is literally the A, the symbol of A, next to whatever word. So if you want to say I am able to, you put I am and then you put able to on its own separate. B and bean, so basically if you're doing the letter B, you can either do the full letter B or you can do a large O basically, so the big circle on the B. As you can probably see here, the big circle on the B is transferred and you don't actually do the line, you just do the big circle. I prefer doing the full B, although it takes longer, so it just depends on what you prefer and stuff like that. Then the word the. So the word the comes up all the time. So obviously it's going to be grouped. Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be grouped? That would be ridiculous. Then fact, so the facts, in fact, these facts, the facts that, all grouped into one. And the word fact is usually just changed into C and T. Just makes it a lot easier and people prefer that, and it's a lot quicker to do, so that's what I do. Same with would. Would is in full when at the start of a word, when at the start of the word, but when it follows like another letter, I mucked that up, there you go. So if it follows like something like that, so it's like I would like, you would do I and then would like underneath the letter I. So yeah, word groupings are a lot more difficult. They pose a lot more challenge, and it's one of those things where it's not ideal, but it makes it a lot quicker and you'll be grateful for it in the dictation. Something I was grateful for within the dictation was these word groupings. It helps so much. I thought they would be my issues. I genuinely thought the word groupings would be my issues. What ended up being my issues were the long words, the words that take multiple letters. So, I don't know, trying to think of one now, putting myself on the spot here, like arrangement, right? If you tried to do that, it's a lot of letters to do. Now, don't get me wrong, probably further on in the book, there's a way to shorten it. Just shush. Okay, I get that. I get there's going to be stuff later on, but right now arrangement is massive. That would bother me a lot more than these word groupings, because while you're doing arrangement, I'm taking ages and I'm writing it out, so I'm doing arrangement, but arrangement said so quick you can't keep up with that. But if someone goes like as soon as possible and you just do that, you're ahead. You've got time to think and you've got time to check while they're still speaking. So it makes it a lot easier, especially if you can predict what someone's going to say, because that might actually come in handy when it comes down to it. If you hear someone that sounds like they're going to say as soon as possible, you can quickly write it down, or I would like, if you can tell what they're going to say, you can write it. Of course, as with any section in this book, there are special outlines. We all love a good special outline. So job, jobs, club, clubs, all special outlines. Not many this time, thank God. But yeah, and then we get down to the exercises. Now, exercise 6.1 was one I actually really enjoyed. I thought it was a good challenge. I thought it was very good at just setting something that I was concerned about doing but enjoyed doing. Like, I think, yeah, I made 5 mistakes in 5 sentences. One of those mistakes, well, 2 of those mistakes were the same, so technically only about 4 mistakes. I was really happy with it. As you can see, all you got to do, simple, same as before, write down the sentence in Teeline. Then what you need to do is write it down in English, basically, and just write it down as if it's a sentence. Try and translate it as best you can. Simple as. Normal stuff. Again, context usually helps. There are still multiple situations where I'm getting a word wrong because I get the context slightly wrong, but one of those things that's a bit of a pain, but hey ho. But that wasn't the issue. The issue was me spending 2 days doing dictations. Now, I did exercise 6.2, I did it at 50 words per minute, and I did 1 page, 2 pages, 3 pages, 4 pages of the dictation until I got it. And even then, I don't truly believe I got it. I really don't believe I fully got it. It took ages. It was a pain. According to my lecturer, the dictations in this book are a lot more difficult than the dictations you usually get in your exam. So if you can nail these, you will be fine in the exam. And that gave me a lot of confidence because I was struggling with it, but to hear that you're meant to struggle with it, that it's meant to be the hardest possible thing you can get, that's fine by me. At least I understand that. So as you can see, there's a couple that is quite some time, I think it is. Yeah, that's quite some time. Like, which is fine, but we had never learned that. We had never learned that word grouping. That word grouping is brand new to us, which is why it took, it was difficult and it took a little while longer. And the way I did it is similar, it's basically the way it is in the book, but I had to ask for help because the book doesn't make it fully obvious. So what you got to do is you got to read the shorthand. If there is any of the shorthand that you're going to struggle with, so like quite some time, I've never written out in full before, so they say practice the ones you've never really written before, make it look good, make sure you can do it quickly like you can do the others, and then move on to the next stage. The next stage is you start the dictation, and yeah, this is where it's up to your own judgment. What my lecturer said is, if you do it once, try and do it all the way through. If you keep up, brilliant, you're doing a better job than most people. If you can't keep up, because I couldn't, then the best thing to do is 1 sentence at a time, or break it into chunks. So choose, once it says this word, I will stop. So you break it into multiple chunks. Once you've learnt that first chunk and learnt to keep up, you then do that chunk and the next chunk in one go. Once you learn to keep up with that, you then add the next chunk, and then so on and so on and so on until you're able to do the whole passage in one, from start to finish. But you just got to break it down into chunks and tackle each problem at a time, which is tedious, I get that, but that's the way to do it. Trust me, do not make the mistake I did and just go with it and just try and nail it out, because you will just stress yourself out. You'll possibly even upset yourself. Like, it really demotivated me, and I'm a workaholic. It's a trait there is one of my best traits and also one of my worst traits is the fact that I'm a workaholic, and right now that was needed and it got me. It really got me. I just sat there and I was like, I can't do it, and that's not me. I don't do that. So I got in touch with my lecturer, and that's when she told me about the chunks. Then I tried that for exercise 6.3, right? This is when you gotta bear in mind. For exercise 6.3, I did 2 pages. 1, 2, and that little one there. That was me completing it. So barely 2 pages. Barely 2 pages. I did 1 go at 1 sentence, got it wrong, redid it, got it right. I then added the 2nd sentence. I got it right first time, which was a surprise, don't get me wrong. I then did it again, this time, I did it again with the first 2 sentences, so I practiced it again to get quicker, and I managed to do it. Then I added the 1st sentence, but before I added the 3rd sentence, I wrote it on its own, just to practice a couple of the Teelines. I just literally copied it from the book. I was like, right, let's just practice this Teeline. Let's kind of get the flow of it before I start writing it. And then I heard the passage and I kept up. And yes, I only kept up at 40 words per minute. To get the Teeline, you need 60 words per minute to get the Teeline Gold, which is the big boy of the lot. You need 100 words per minute. I am miles off that. I get that. But I am also miles off the end of the book. The end of the book is Unit 20. I am on Unit 6. I'm always going to be slower at Unit 6. And if you look into the future at Unit 20, it shortens these long words. It shortens them so much that it should make life a lot easier when, you know, those big words come in, and, you know, more groupings come in, more group endings come in, and that's going to help me so much. So I'm going to think right now, if you want to try for those higher words per minute and spend ages doing dictations, do it. If you've got the work ethic for it, do it. My work ethic is to get to the end of this book, to get to the end of this. That is where I want to go. I want to get to the end, then I will work on dictations a lot more. Right now, I want to get to that 40 words per minute, 50 words per minute mark. You know, if 60 words per minute, if I feel like I want to try that, I will. But I just want to get so I can keep up at a slowish pace, but I can keep up with a dictation. I want to be able to flow. I want it to flow. I want it to be timed, almost like timed. I can work on speed later. I can't work on my ability later. You know, getting through all the information, getting through all the theory, to me is more important right now than getting through the speed. The speed will come later on, and the speed can be developed later on. So I'm not too fussed about that. But yeah, this one's been a lot longer of an episode than the last couple, quite simply because this was a short exercise, but it took me multiple days to do. This is the first one that's really baffled me, really got to me. Next is letters Y and I, and letters G and L. Oh, G and L, G and J. I was trying to read it in there, so sorry, my phone was running out of charge, so I don't know what's happened there. Hopefully the recording was okay in that little bit. But yeah, so that's the next passage. There's a lot more to learn, obviously, and we'll slowly get through it. But yeah, I really wanted to make sure I got this video out, especially with the dictations, because I know a lot of places aren't doing much with the shorthand at the moment because of the big virus going around the world and the disruptions that has. So I wanted to get this out there and just be like, look, dictations are hard. They are really hard, but if you break it down, you work towards it, you can get through it. And I truly believe that. So yeah, that closes the chapter of Unit 6. As always, thank you guys for the support on the channel and the support on this series. It's very, very much appreciated. Hit the like button if you like this video, subscribe if you're new, and I shall see you in the next video. See ya!
Hey!